Seems to be the word of the month. It's tariff. And trade tariffs are having a significant effect on e-commerce, particularly for smaller brands trying to compete globally. These tariffs impact costs, strategies and opportunities, making it essential for businesses to now adapt and evolve in order to overcome. Joining us now is Tam Nguyen, CEO of GOL Solution. It's good to have you with us. How are current US tariffs impacting businesses? Take us through what it looks like at the moment.
Hello, nice to be here today. I would like to, so for US tariff and how it's impacting e-commerce business right now is definitely one of the topic that is at the forefront of many business owner at the moment. Here's just a quick recap of what is going on right now with the tariff situations. We're looking at a complex landscape where Canada is facing 10 to 25% tariffs on all imports. Mexico faces similar 25% tariffs, while China faces a flat 20% tariffs on all imports. And also even the EU is also being impacted with the 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum, and they're implementing the reciprocate tariffs on US goods. In the next couple of days, there will also be the reciprocate tariffs where the US will evaluate all the trading partners and what are the equal trading terms that the US is expecting. So the impacts of this is definitely business are looking to diversify their supply chain. If brands are currently sourcing from a singular supply chain provider, they are now looking for more suppliers from across different sources and countries. What this tells us is that it's not ending global trade, but it's definitely forcing business to become more sophisticated of how they approach it.
Okay, well, that was going to be my next question to you is what are the opportunities, I suppose, the tariffs create for e-commerce? And then we can talk a bit about some of the challenging factors as well.
Sure. Opportunities in e-commerce despite tariff challenge. Wow, that's a good question. And this is where I see tremendous potential for business willing to adapt because e-commerce has fundamentally changed how businesses can test new markets. Before digital marketplaces, entering a new market requires significant upfront investment. But now, business can test market perceptively with minimal investment. This approach that we call that we've seen and what we name in GOL Solution is online first market entry framework, where this allows brands to validate through digital channels before major commitments. This is what I'm particularly excited about, especially for small and medium business, because now they can leverage e-commerce overseas to enter a new market with a much lower cost.
And of course, outside the obvious when it comes to pricing and the costs, what are some more of the challenges that these tariffs might create for e-commerce brands?
Definitely one of the challenge that e-commerce brand will face during this is that the ongoing change of the tariffs. Right now, this is the change in the global regulations for tariffs is having change in the unseen pace. So every other day we'll see something, and as of now, for about 3 months, we've seen more than 50 changes in tariffs. So it's very challenging for small and medium brands to keep monitors and keep adapting the supply chain to these new tariffs. But the good news is that there are now a lot of solution providers like GOL Solution that offer compliance as a service providers, where we make export laws simplify for even small and business brands.
Perfect, and I'm glad there is someone out there like yourselves who are able to make sense of it all. It's always changing, but why are direct-to-consumer Asian brands rising within the Western markets? We're certainly seeing an uptick, if you will.
Yeah, that's a great question. The rise of Asian brands directly to Western consumer, I say this is a shift, represent one of the most significant changes in the local retail in decades. It's because a brand is now the great asset for global expansion and also for protecting your businesses from the shifting economy, right? Having a global brand help you gain direct access to will be flexible on your supply chain and product origins. Asian manufacturers, originally or traditionally known, are companies that making products for Western brands. But because of the political change that's gonna happen and impact to their country, they will now have two choices. One is to stay where they are and deal with the impact, potentially even lose their business to other competitors, or they can start their own brand so that they can be flexible and maintain their global market share. What makes this training particularly powerful in the combination of manufacturing expertise that Asian business has always had, and also the digital marketing savviness.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting to see how it's all going to play out. But let's talk a bit about how businesses can navigate product regulations when selling internationally. That's another thing that trips some people up when they are trying to, spread their products globally.
Yeah, I agree. It's very challenging to navigate international regulation, especially now with so much change happening within a limited time frame. This is the biggest hidden obstacle for cross-border e-commerce and small and medium business trying to go overseas. But the mistake that I see most often happens with companies that go in cross-border is that treating compliance as an afterthought rather than building it into the development process from the beginnings. So my one advice for businesses out there is that if you are building a brand or building a product that targeting a specific market, think of compliance, incorporate it into your R&D process.
Yeah, I think that's some very good advice there. And if people do want to find out a little bit more about this topic, where's the best place to go to connect with you and the team, maybe if they need to get some help?
Sure, thank you for bringing up that. So if you would like to monitor and keep update with all the news about the US tariffs as well, how to keep your products compliant cross-border, we help businesses going into two most dynamic markets in the world, the United States and South Asia. You can find us at worldwideweb.GOL Solution.com, and our team and I are happy to help you.
Tam, thank you so much for joining me on the program and running through everything that's going on. I'm sure it'll change again next week, so hopefully you and I get to speak again.
Thank you so much for having me.